guys, Dino here, back for another brew day. You can probably hear the mash water just heating up in the electric boiler there. So while that's happening, I thought I'd just quickly tell you what I'm going to be brewing. I'll just duck down here. So I found a recipe in the Beer and Brewer magazine. On the back they have a home brewer section, and I decided to go for a black IPA. So in here is a clone recipe for Yeasty Boys Hot Kettle Black. That's showing up on the camera there. But this is actually the winning recipe from last year's System Wars Attack of the Clones. So I'm going to be using the same malt bill. I've just scaled it down for a 10 litre batch, or 9.5, 10 litre batch. And the only thing I'm changing slightly is the winning recipe has Mouse to Sauvin, Styrian Goldings and Motueka. I'm going to swap out the Motueka for New Zealand Cascade, and I'm leaving out the Styrian Goldings, mainly because this is, like I say, it's a half batch and I didn't want to be spending $30 just on 3 different types of hop. And also the commercial Hot Kettle Black uses New Zealand Cascade rather than Motueka, so yeah, I just wanted to stay a bit closer to the original. So yeah, that's the recipe. Got all my grains here. So I've got about 2.5 kilos in total of grain here for my half batch. And I'm hoping to get about a 5% beer out of there. So I might stop waffling and I'll come back once I do each stage in the brew day. We're just about up to temp for the mash water, so yeah, it won't be long. Cheers guys. Okay, so I've added the grains and just given them a good mix, make sure there's no dough balls. So as, we'll have to get away from the old steam here. So as per last time, the grain's been placed inside a grain bag, which is then being put onto the inner stainless steel pot / basket with the holster all in. So yeah, so that's pumping out nicely. Nice sort of dark colour. Yeah, so I'm just about 7 minutes into a 60-minute mash. Just trying to hold it around 66 degrees. There's a little bit of variation as the boiler goes on and off, but it's, as long as it stays in that 65 to 67 degree range, I'll be pretty happy. Okay, well, we'll let this carry on doing its recirculating mash, and then I'll come back once it's done. Cheers guys. Okay, so I've just finished the 60-minute mash, and I've just ramping the temperature up on the controller, set it at 78, so I'm going to do a mash out at 78 for 10 minutes, but I'll keep recirculating the liquid. Yeah, the little sprinkler head thing seems to work quite well. I'm just using this spoon to make sure that it's sitting over the centre. Just as the pipe gets hot, it gets more floppy. So yeah, the spoon's a simple solution, but it's yeah. Okay guys, I've finished the mash out and I've pulled the grain basket with the bag and sieve etc. out of the boiler and just resting it on this cake rack. So what I'm doing now is the sparge, and I thought I'd try something a little bit different. So I'm putting the sparge water into the saucepan here, and then I thought, why don't I just use the pump to pump the sparge water down through the grain. So I've got that on the lowest setting, so it's just a very, very light trickle. And yeah, it seems to be working well. So what I'm doing is, as I'm taking the sparge water out of the saucepan here, I'm heating up a little bit more. So yeah, we'll come back when that's done. And also the other thing is I've disconnected the STC 1000 and I've just hooked the boiler straight into the mains, and it's just heating up for the boil at the same time. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Cheers guys, we'll be back shortly. Finished the sparge and just going to add in the first lot of hops. So this is I think it's 17 grams of Nelson Sauvin. So this is going to start a boil. So we'll chuck that in. There we go. So yep, looking good. I missed out a few hop additions. I thought I wouldn't bore you with every single one, so I did the 60-minute Nelson Sauvin, then I did Cascade at 15, 10, 5, and now I'm just adding in the 0-minute hops, but I've cooled the wort down to 80 degrees C and I'm just going to let that sit for 15 minutes and then I'll continue cooling it down. Cheers. Okay, I'm just about all done. The wort's all cooled down. I'm just transferring it into the fermenter. So just dropping it down from a nice height, getting plenty of oxygen to the liquid there. You can see it all foaming up. So yeah, hoping to get at least 9, maybe 9.5 litres out of this. And then I'll pitch some USO5 on top. And then we're all done. Hey guys, through the magic of the interweb, we're back for a side-by-side taste test. So I've got the original commercial Yeasty Boys Pot Kettle Black beer here, and this is the one that you saw me brewing up. So what I'll do first is we'll pour them into a glass, and then we'll have a bit of a look-see and a taste and see how they're different. So we'll pour up the commercial version first. Okay, so this is the commercial version. I'll do my one. It's just been in the bottle just over a week, so hopefully it's carved up. Nice bit of hiss off the top. Some nice smoke. Okay, so there's the two beers there. So they've both been in the fridge, both come out at the same time. I guess the first thing you can notice pretty much straight away is the commercial version has a very small head on it. Pretty much, there's a head there, but it's very small. And that's my one there, which is sort of holding a slightly better head. Colour wise, I cannot see any difference between them. So yeah, appearance wise, the only thing I can say is different is mine's holding a better head on it. Probably the other differences I should point out, this is about 6% ABV, this is 5. This is probably going to be slightly higher in IBUs, about 50 I think, and mine's about 45. The hops should be, this has the New Zealand Cascade and Nelson Sauvin with the Styrian Goldings. This is the same, but it doesn't have the Styrian Goldings in it, so they're probably the main differences. And the malt bills are probably slightly different because I don't know exactly what you use in the commercial one. I use the clone recipe. So let's get a smell. Commercial first. Oh, some really, I've had this before, not for a while, but there's some really nice sort of dark roasted aromas coming off the top, like chocolate. It sort of hints of coffee as well, but it smells really nice. little bit of hop aroma, but not too much, as you probably expect with all those roasted and dark malts in there. So we'll give my one a try. Okay, I'm picking up similar aroma, but mine's not as prominent as the commercial version. It's still that nice, it's almost got this very similar aroma profile, but mine's on sort of a couple of steps down, I would say. Yeah, this is definitely more prominent. But they both smell very nice, so no issues there. So what we might do is, I think I'll taste the commercial one first. Yeah, the flavour follows on nicely from the aroma. Some real nice roasted dark malt flavour coming through, sort of dark chocolate, coffee, some really good bitterness there, and it's sort of a astringency, possibly from the Black Malt. Excuse the cars. The other thing I should point out, this is a multi-award-winning beer. It's a beautiful example of a black IPA. It's probably one of the best examples New Zealand has to offer. Yeah, that's nice. Quite astringent, and quite bitter as well, but very, very nice. The hops, not getting a lot of hops through, to be honest. On the nose I wasn't really picking up much, and in the taste I'm not really picking up much. Considering there's Cascade in there, Styrian Goldings, I would have expected to pick up a little bit more, but we'll see how we go, and then we'll try mine. So this is my first taste test of this beer, so we'll see how we go. The head's still there. Tastes nice. It's got some really nice dark, similar to the Pot Kettle Black commercial version. It's got some nice dark roasted notes, a little bit of coffee, not as much as the commercial version. Some really nice chocolate, but probably the thing I'm picking up the most and the difference is this one actually. The astringency and the bitterness is almost bordering on being a tad harsh. This one's more smooth, I would say. Yeah, this has definitely got a smoother, creamier sort of mouthfeel and taste to it. Still got some really nice bitterness, but it's not quite as punchy and as sharp as, or almost harsh, I would say, in this one. And the other thing is I'm definitely picking up the hops in here. So I ended up using the Nelson Sauvin and Cascade, New Zealand Cascade in the boil. Then I dry hop with some more New Zealand Cascade for about a week. But yeah, I'm very happy with the way that's come out. So if I was to summarise the two beers, if that's possible, first off, they're both very nice beers. As standalone beers, you know, I'd be very happy to drink either. I've had this before. It's a great beer, and I'm really enjoying it again. So the main differences would be the head retention on this is definitely better. It's got some lacing, it's sticking around. This has probably got more prominent roasted notes in the aroma and flavour, but along with that it has got quite a lot of like astringency from the Black Malt. But it's still nice, still very nice. Whereas mine, I guess, is a smoother version of this beer here, but it has got more hop presence than the commercial one, but that could be to do with the fact I don't know how old this beer is. I tried to look for a date stamp on the bottle and I couldn't find one. But I expect it would be a beer that would age quite well, but the hops possibly have died down a bit on this. Whereas on this is nice and fresh. Picking up some nice citrus now that it's warming up a little bit more. So yeah, no, that's great. So I'm really pleased with my beer. It's always nice to try and brew a beer that's based on a commercial version, and I'm really glad that I tried that recipe. I'm very happy with the results. Would I change anything? Possibly could do, if you wanted to get it closer to the original, possibly could up the black patent malt a little bit more. But that could be an individual taste preference. Yeah, not much else to say, guys. Really enjoy. I'm going to sit back and enjoy drinking both these beers. Hope you enjoyed the side by side. If you've got any questions, just sing out. And yeah, we'll get back to you next time. Cheers, guys. Over and out.